I'm going to replace Meson first. My guess with this one is that this top left one here is maybe the ground, or the one next to it is pad is gone. That's my guess. (6337) tin lead solder with my BC1 tip on FM 2027. So I'm just going to mix the lead free solder with the tin lead solder, then I'm going to wick it. Alright, that looks pretty good actually. It looks pretty good. Okay. You know what? I just got some Goot Wick here. I'm gonna try this. I normally use my tech spray, but or Chemtronics. I think that's what it is. This is my new Goot Wick. Let's see how this one goes. If it sucks, then I'm just gonna. That's the end of the day for Goot Wick. Well, it's not bad at all. Problem I have with these big ones is the fraying. Really, you know, it frays and then it sticks. Yeah, this is a little bit too big, but let me try cutting it a little bit and see how it goes. Okay. When it frays, it is hard to. It sticks, you know. It's the problem. Ouch. This is a little bit too thick too. It really needs to be smaller. Probably like I think this is 1.5 millimeters. Yep. I think that's probably the end of the day for Wick. Let's go back to MG Chemicals, my go-to. I don't even know what number this is. Oh, it says 0.025 inch width. 0.025 inch. This is my go-to right here because I feel like the tweezers can heat up the entire wick. That way it's not sticking to the pads and then, you start pulling and boom, you rip pad. So this is perfect right here. Alright, I think we're about as good as we can get. That's about good. So once you get it on, just make sure it's as aligned as you possibly can align it, and then just don't touch it really, and just once it heats up, once the solder melts, it's going to kind of move into place by itself. So, but you really need to make sure that it's pretty well aligned before you start heating the solder up. So just kind of let the heat do its work, and once the solder melts, you'll see the thing wiggle a little bit. And then I normally heat for another second or a few seconds, and then so just keep an eye on it, okay? Just watch for it to move a little bit. See that just jumped? You see that right there? So that just kind of jumped, and if you really want to confirm, there you go, boom, boom. And if you really want to confirm, you can kind of nudge it a little bit, and then kind of go from there. But this is pretty hot right now, so that's good. So that's it. And this thing was already chipped before I even touched it, so. And for some reason, this chips all the time, actually. I don't know why. You know what? I think this is due, you know, when this thing bends. I think this, since this is so big, it bends with it, and this kind of cracks. I've seen this happen a few times. This is not really going to affect anything, so you can just kind of leave it. And then let's just kind of clean it up a little bit. So I always do, from now on, I'm going to do Meson first, test it, and then I'll make a judgment call on whether I want to do Cumulus or not. Alright, let me go test it real quick. Okay. Whoa. I got a 0.8 reading of some sort. You know what? I was having some issues with this battery earlier, so I'm gonna try my own battery. Should try my own case too, really. Getting some weird error on my porta power here. There you go, 5087. There you go. I think there's something wrong with this battery because I charged it up overnight and it only showed 16%. So, and it's definitely not the OEM battery. So, anyways, that's another problem he has. I'll leave it up to the customer. So I'm getting the Apple logo now. And we have touch. So I'm just gonna bend it a little bit. Oops. Oh, got a little green thing here. It's weird. Maybe it was still too hot. Alright, let's disconnect real quick. Seen that happen once before, and sometimes it's just needs to cool down a little bit. Alright, let's try it again real quick. I'm getting 0.9 amps. It's not getting hot or anything. Well, I was definitely getting touch and just a second ago. Until I started bending it a little bit. Okay, Usually it'll come right back on after I do this. Let's try a new battery again. Oh. .8, .7, there you go. Apple logo, alright. I don't know why it does this. Sometimes it just takes a few charges. It's as if something overheated or something and it just goes to crap. Okay, so 12% battery life, touch is there. Don't know what the passcode is. Let me see. Okay, I do have the passcode. That is not the correct passcode. Alright. Gosh, I hate that. Let me text this guy. Alright, anyways, I think that's good. I'm waiting for the passcode on this for this guy. Should I replace Cumulus as well? It's a good question. I probably should, because I've had a few returns lately. But I'm thinking that the few returns was only because I only replaced Meson or Cumulus and not Meson. I need to track them. Alright, well anyways, I'm gonna call that a day. For the live feed at least.